Much. Great. Okay. So welcome everybody back from lunch. We're going to try to put into practice now this afternoon what I was actually teaching you guys in the prospecting class, because we realized it's a lot of stuff that we were asking you to kind of manage, to schedule, to group, and put all of these people together and remember them day after day, week after week, month after month. So I was hoping that if I demonstrate and we all kind of work together and start doing your calendars, we can put the things on the calendar, and you can always be flexible and change it later on, but at least it gets something into your actual business calendars to begin that process today. Keeping in mind that all of the activities that you guys are working on that I gave you off that daily activity list that you do today is what's going to feed your business like 3 months from now. I want you to think about all of these things that we talked about as planting seeds. And I don't want you to get frustrated if you feel like you've sent the mailer out to the neighborhood, or you've gone door knocking, or you've done whatever, and it's not working, and nobody's saying, I want to buy or sell yet. Don't look at your business like that. Just get up in the morning. You have a list of things you need to get accomplished. You're going to check them all off and get them done, and you're just going to trust the process. As your coaches, we will tell you if there are things that you can be doing to improve or change or tweak the systems that you have in place. I think we can say without any hesitation, simply not doing them is not the right answer. Okay, that's just not the right answer. So you've got to be doing something. You just got to stick with it, trust the process, trust the program. Things will start to come together. It may just not be on the timeline you were hoping for. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share a screen. We're going to very quickly review, and I'm going to work my way backwards. We're going to review what we had talked about in the previous class. Just make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay. All right, so your daily activity goals, the ideal daily activity goals, that's where we're going to start. Now, we had touched on the fact that if you are a digital calendar kind of person, then maybe Google Calendars or Outlook Calendar or whatever your program is that you like to use, that might be the thing that you use to do that. For me, that is Google Calendar. I am a digital person. They're all synced so that, like, if I'm making a dentist appointment for my kids, I can do it on my phone, and it's also on my desktop calendar, and I'm never accidentally double booking myself if I can avoid it. Melissa's more of a paper desk planner kind of person. That works for her. It doesn't work for me because half the time I don't have it when I need to make the appointment, and then I forget to put it where it needs to go, right? So you have to do what works for you. If it's not working for you, do something different, but get it under control quickly. So I have up a blank calendar for Google that we're going to start playing with. I will show you, because somebody had asked about it, the color coding and all that kind of thing. This is my actual calendar. Okay, so your Google Calendar is going to end up looking like this, where you're going to have things all scheduled out and have different colors that mean different things to you. And so that's what we're going to work to build here. Okay, so we're, like I said, starting with the ideal daily activity goals. The very first thing that you should schedule for yourself, and I'm going to switch forward to February, actually, because right now your main focus is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all day long is training. I do want you to put those in your schedules, and I want you to make sure that whatever else comes into your life that you're scheduling around that. There's no reason, unless it's an emergency, that you should have to abandon your training at this point in your career. If it's something that can be done before or over lunch or immediately following training, or your Tuesdays and Thursdays right now are completely open for that. Okay. So I'm going to pop forward to February, assuming that, you know, at that point you're finishing up training or complete. So February 2022. I kind of like to start this process by thinking to myself, I want to begin with, there's this work-life balance element here that you have to be very, very conscious of. And we've touched on it a couple of times, where you need to make sure that the things that you need in your life are there, and that you're not just abandoning all of that stuff for the purpose of being a fully accessible real estate agent. You're going to burn out fast, and you're going to resent the business if that's how you're living it. So I always start with the things I want to do. Always the things I want to do. So if there is date night with your spouse, and that is something that you do every single Thursday night, you know, in the middle of the month, then that's what we do. Okay. So let's say that February the 17th is date night. Okay. Now I can make it as a full day event so it is clear to me and it pops up in my face immediately. If I do that as an all day event, it shows up on my calendar like that. Okay, but if I want to edit it, yes, I know that, I got it. Thank you. If I want to edit it to actually be a specific time, because we always go to dinner around like 6 o'clock or something like that, then I'm going to come right through here and do 6 to maybe 8. That is my time with my spouse, and it's date night. Okay. Now I can also make it so that it repeats if I'm like that serious about it. It's always the same kind of night, but for today, we're going to say it's date night with spouse, and it's a very late Valentine's Day situation. Okay, I'm just making this up. We don't do that anymore. Other things, we have an ideal activity daily goal. So remember on the fake calendar, the example one that we gave you, you had like a whole time blocked section where we're just dedicating our time to doing those kinds of things. So that's going to be another thing that we put on. That's going to be, let's say, daily, every single day, and we'll even make it just every single weekday. We'll put that prospecting stuff on. That is going to be something else that I want to do. I want to build business build. It has to happen. Okay, so that's going to be an all day, every day kind of situation.
Before you do that, do you want to add your sales meetings? Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me back up a second and do that. So I started with the wanna haves. Let's do date night with the spouse. Sorry, I jumped ahead. I got excited. You also have to do the have to haves. And that's going to be things like sales meetings. I already talked about the fact that training is going to be a have to have kind of thing. So your sales meetings have to go in here also. Please do not schedule other things on top of sales meetings if you can avoid it. Sales meetings for your offices are going to be different days. You need to check with your office manager for that. In my area, it's typically every other Wednesday, twice a month really. So it's every other Wednesday at 9. I think for most other areas, it's like, what is it, the second or third Tuesday of the month or something?
In Reading Burks, it's the second Tuesday at 10. Some other Lancaster area ones are first, the third. I got them all written down, but
yeah, Harrisburg, we're switching back to first and third for this year.
So I'm going to plug in a fake one here. You are going to ask your office admin to give you the schedule for the year, or your office manager to give you the schedule for the year. What I like about Google Calendar is that I can make it repeat. Okay, so if, let's say, the third Tuesday of the month is my sales meeting at 9:30, then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to ask it to repeat. Okay, monthly on the third Tuesday. All right, so now every single month, if I scroll through, you'll see there is a sales meeting on the third Tuesday of the month. Find out when your sales meetings are. If they're arbitrary, just go ahead and put them out for the whole year. Okay, on their own. All right, so sales meetings. If your office is having like training sessions for any specific thing, and it does not interfere with the Accelerate training, you're kind of beyond that and you can do some in-house kind of stuff, do those things. They kind of pop up.
Lunch and Learns with
Yep.
The home sales mortgage company or home self settlement. In our office, our title person is doing one on tax sales. I mean, that's a great thing to get more information on.
Yep. All right. Also, another thing that has to go into the calendar is going to be the Accelerate huddles. All right. You are with us for a long time. Okay. I think the quickest that anybody has ever graduated from the program was like just under 4 months, just long enough to get through the advanced classes. So typically it's anywhere from 4 to 8 months before you graduate. So you're with us a good long time while you're building your business, learning how to do it correctly, getting through those first transactions with the one-on-one hand-holding assistance until you've got it. So all of those should go in there too. All right, I'll start with the beginning of February. 1 p.m. is the huddle. And I'm going to have that repeat weekly on Thursday with no end, just forever until I graduate, and then I can delete it. Okay, so now all the huddles are there. What else happens on Thursdays? Anybody remember? David, yes, you're not crazy for scheduling time for your wife and yourself. It's perfect. I love it. 2:30 are the advanced classes. Okay, so I'm going to put in there 2:30 p.m. Advanced Accelerate. Okay, and once again, I need to make sure that that repeats. So that's going to be weekly on Thursday until I get through them all, and then I'll delete it. Okay, there are about 13 or 14, something like that, advanced Accelerate classes. Okay, so now my Thursdays are all scheduled. Please put them in the calendar. I know y'all know that you have to be at Huddle at 1 p.m., but I promise you, if they are not physically in your calendar, somebody's going to be like, oh, hey, you want to go do this or that tomorrow? And you'll just be like, sure, and then completely have forgotten that the Huddle exists. So you need to put that in there. It is a requirement of the program. Okay, so I've got my office trainings, I've got my Accelerate trainings, I have my sales meetings, I have my time with my family. Other things that you might want to put in there, let's say from, I don't know, 9 to 11 on Saturday, every other Saturday or something, you have soccer tournament.
That's a Friday.
Oops, sorry, your face is friendly, I couldn't see. Thank you. Pull you down so I can see better. Okay, so then let's say 12, I have a soccer tournament. You got to put that kind of stuff in there. If every day I have to pick my kids up from the bus, then 3:30 is bus pickup. Now, obviously, I know I have to pick my kids up, but if you don't put it in there, it's going to be a problem. So in this case, it's going to be daily. Oh, that's not the one that I wanted. There's a really cool one in here that says just weekdays, every weekday, Monday through Friday. Okay, so I save that. Why do I do that? Because then anytime that I'm in a day and I'm trying to schedule it out, this is blocked off for me. So I'm not messing up stuff with my kids. All right, now, is there anything else that I'm missing from the have to haves or want to haves? And I do this all like about mid-January, I would be looking at my February calendar. Mid-February, I'll start working on my March calendar and getting everything all scheduled for those things that kind of like pop up. But all of these other things, they just go and go forever. Okay, so now back to that daily grind, the daily prospecting, the stuff that you absolutely need to do in order to work on your business, that's going in every day as well. Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm going to do from, let's say 9 to 10:30 is my daily activities. Okay, or you can call this your prospecting period. All right, this is going to be, again, another one of those every weekday situations. Okay, that way it's in the calendar. Now, I have to also schedule myself what those activities are going to be. So hopefully you all are kind of working with me through here and you're working through, at least for February, putting in the huddles, putting in the stuff that we know, not the fake things, but the stuff we know. So these activities that you need to be working on, the prospecting activities, what are they? And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. If you're doing a day planner, you can write those activities into the day in that section you have highlighted for this, just as a list. In Google Calendar, you can choose to open it and put specific things into the description here at the bottom. But to me, I actually, for my own personal self, I like to see it kind of as a task list of the day. So you can add tasks into here. Sometimes I'll just put it in as like an all-day event just so I can see them. So I'll show you the difference. If my activity for the day is 2 note cards, if I put it in just as an event, I'm going to see it show up like that. And it just sits there so that when I'm doing my activities, I know what I'm supposed to work on. I can also choose to put it in as a task. And if I do it like that, it shows up a little bit differently. Slightly different color. You can also see it has like a little checkbox. Okay, so I can mark it as completed. It's up to you how you want it to show. Either way is fine. Also, like I said, I could just open up the activities and edit each one of them differently, but to me, that seems like a lot of work. It's just whatever is going to work for you, however you like to do it. Okay, so those are the different ways you can handle that. I'm going to take the task off for a second, just so we can see the other things. So 2 note cards. This is going to happen every single day of the week. So I'm going to make that repeat every weekday. 2 note cards a day. Right? We also have 10 live interactions. Remember, we said our quarterly phone calls, happy birthday calls, anything that like comes up in your CRM as being the due date, the due touch. And also for the things that you have to talk about with your clients, or if there's the birthday calls you have to do, or those universe buzzes that just popped in my head and I have to give you the call. So I'm going to spend that time working through my list and getting those things done. Okay, so here again, I'm going to click into my box and I'm going to stick in there 10 lives, right? And this is going to be repeating. This is that class I have to move faces continuously to see all the buttons. Keep going around and around my screen. All right, so now I have my 10 lives. Okay, what else needs to be done? 20 minutes working in your CRM every single day. Now you can schedule that to be a different part of the day if you want to, or it can be part of that activities time frame that you have scheduled. So I'm going to stick that in here too. "20 minutes of CRM. All right, so you can see I'm getting a little bit busy every day. There are things that need to get accomplished, and this is going to really help you guys be in the real estate mindset then. That if you show up to the office and I'm asking you to sit there and either do phone duty or be part of it or have some presence there, and you're like, what should I be working on? Twiddling my thumbs. You have a task list to get accomplished. It's going to make you feel like you're really an agent. And if you're documenting these things on your social media, everybody else is going to feel like you're being a successful agent too. Okay. All right. So what else do we need to work on? Posting on your own social media and commenting on 5 customer or client posts. So I do need to spend a little bit of time on social media. Right. So I'll stick another one in there and say we're going to do 5. So oops, I never spelled social comments. Again, this is not, let me just like flip through my news feed and see what's being served to me. I'm going to pick 5 separate people and I'm going to go to their profile pages and look to see what's going on and throw some comments on there. Okay, so 5 social comments daily. Yeah, can you do them on the weekends too? Absolutely, you should be all the time. But at least for the business activities, I'm kind of keeping it to weekdays. All right. Now I'm going to work my way backwards a little bit so we can see some other things. Now I did say that these 2 handwritten notes, they need to be personal handwritten notes. Where can you get your note cards from? Easy answer, local, obviously, Dollar Tree. You can get like 8 or 10 of them for $1. It's like crazy cheap. Get the blank ones. You can also go to places like TJ Maxx or Ross, that kind of thing. And they have like these, sometimes they'll have like sets of them that are almost like handmade looking type cards. So it can be cute like that. And it's not terribly expensive. We also really, really love a site called Note Card Cafe. So you might want to jot yourself a little note for that. Note Card Cafe allows you to get single note cards for 33 cents each or a whole set of 72 for like 17 bucks. And it's a really, really great quality card. It's just affordable. And as you can see, it's kind of flashing before you. There's all kinds of different types of cards you can choose from: real estate cards, holiday things, seasonal things, blank ones. So the sets, I think you're allowed to kind of like pick and choose between all kinds of different things, but you can check that out. What I really like about it is that you can pick your envelope color. So you could really brand if you wanted to. It's to make it like a specific color so that when you show up in the mailbox, everybody knows that this is something that's coming from Jen or from Gabby or whatever. Okay. So I'll just show you a couple of them. They do have sets that you can choose, birthday sets, etc. You can put it together yourself. There's occasions here. I'm going to show you the real estate cards specifically because they have all different kinds of that too. Right, so I love that one. That's so cute. They have wintry themed ones, door knocker thingies, whatever, keys, all kinds of stuff. But then they have like patriotic ones, festive things, lots to choose from. This is Melissa's favorite place to get note cards. I'm usually not that forward thinking, and I'm running into like a TJ Maxx at the last second and grabbing a set or ordering it off Amazon and having it show up. So there's no right answer. Just get the cards. You're going to be going through cards like crazy. So get the whole set. Melissa, you're muted, honey.
What I love about those, you can get 2 of one style, 30 of another, 10 of a third style. There are no minimums. There's no, you can do it a la carte. You can get Easter cards and St. Patrick's Day cards. You know, we talked about the St. Patrick's Day card as like a nice, as something different to do. They have all the holidays that you can use. So
yep. Even St. Patrick's Day, which I would have trouble finding probably anywhere else.
Yeah, so I mean, you get 10 or 15 of those to send out to whoever you're trying to reach that month. Cute.
Yep. Super cute. Okay, so that's where you're getting your notes. Please, guys, get the note cards. Get them ahead of time. That way you can just dive right in and start checking it off your list and getting them done. Personal handwritten notes have a huge, huge, huge impact on your sphere of influence. They really like to get that. I want you guys to think about what you get in the mail. It's boring. It's terrible. It's bills. It's junk mail. It's like newspaper, whatever's. It's nothing.
I don't even get bills because I have all my bills online. So
yeah, see,
like
I'm old school that way.
It's just, yeah. So you're old school about that.
Yeah.
But you know, all I get are like the flyers from Aldi and stuff like that.
Mail,
Like,
yep.
so when you see a nice, especially with those ones from No Card Cafe in that colorful envelope, it stands out. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
And
And
we
this-
hear the feedback from new agents all the time that are skeptical about starting this, but they do it and they find it actually gets the response back from the recipients because everybody's so surprised to get a handwritten card in the mail these days.
Some people have never gotten one in their whole lives. We have like this younger generation that's like coming of age to buy houses. No one has ever sent them a
What is
handwritten note.
this strange thing with a
Yes.
stamp on it?
What is that? You know, besides for like a happy birthday card for from grandma or something, you know, but never anything that just says, you know, hey, I saw that this happened to you. I'm so sorry, or like congratulations or whatever. A genuinely heartfelt note about something really, really gets people behind you. It's great. Birthdays. That's next up on the calendar. So you have a couple of ways of operating and doing this. Facebook will give you birthdays for almost everybody. Okay, I just recently started going through this. There was a couple of people that like didn't put it in, but for the most part, everybody has like the month and the day in their profile somewhere visible. So start working through that. As you're doing your messages to all of these people in your Facebook world, look up their profiles while you're at it and look to see what their birthdays are. So what I like to do is maybe like in the Monday preceding February's stuff, I might want to put in here birthday cards for February. Okay. Get them all prepped, get them addressed, get them stamped, and then I could potentially have every Monday be my mail date if I want to. So this week's go out on Monday, this week's go out on Monday, however you want to rock and roll with that, but get them all done ahead of time so you're not scrambling at the last minute. Your personal notes are not the same thing as your birthday cards. Okay, separate things. All right, so birthday cards are in. All right, home anniversary cards. So again, this could be something that I prep for at the beginning of the month and get them all done for the month. So I'm going to stick that in here too. So home anniversary cards for February, same thing, get them all written out, addressed, posted, sitting and waiting to go so you can kick them through. All right, every single week. And if you have to put a little reminder in here for these days on 7th, 14th, 21st, etc., to mail cards, then that's what you do. Kind of depends on how much prompting you need to get things accomplished. Okay, get together for coffee, breakfast, and lunch. All right, so maybe on your Monday interactions, this would be where we schedule the one-on-one. Okay, that's going to happen for Monday. And then once I've scheduled them on Monday, I'm going to pop in here and say, okay, between the 8th and the 11th, who am I seeing? So let's say that Wednesday, I ended up with a lunch with Bill. And then like maybe Friday around 12, I have lunch with Melissa. Okay, so I scheduled them on the 7th. I'm doing them here and here. Okay, so that's my week. All right, moving on. The client appreciation party, that's a special event. You're going to have to schedule that probably early enough, 6 months out, and start preparing for it, but I'm going to leave that off for this one. And rewarding referrals should probably be done the moment that it happens, so you don't forget about it. But what you could do is have maybe like a once a week, let me look back and make sure I'm not missing any referral card opportunities for the week. I will forget. It has to be instantaneous. The second that Melissa tells me she sent me somebody, I just got to get right on that and get it done. Okay. So those are the additional ongoing personal connections that you're doing. I'm still working backwards here. Social media. Okay, so here we have a couple of slides about social media, staying updated on clients, establishing your brand, keeping your content balanced. I need to have a post almost every single day on my Facebook business page if I'm going to be engaging enough or interesting enough to people who are looking me up. Quickly, I do want to say that for you as new to business agents, your focus has to be on your personal page and getting those people engaged with you being a real estate agent and increasing that believability quotient. But as you start business building and people start referring you, your business page has to be equally engaging and interesting, because what happens is that people who are referred to you are going to go looking for you. And Facebook is basically like the new Google for businesses. If somebody's interested in a business, they go look to see what's happening on their Facebook page. So they're going to be pulling up Gabby Redkay. Who is she? I don't know this person. And I pull up her realtor page. And if it's like, wah, 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 then they're going to be like, all right, well, I don't know. I can't tell if this person is even active, or it's concerning that they don't have a social media presence. And I'm a millennial and I know how important that is, right? Or something worse is that one doesn't even exist. Then, when it comes to that kind of stuff, if you don't have a Facebook presence, then you are not present. You don't have an existence at all, and nobody's going to believe you even have a business. So it is equally critical for you to be building that Facebook business page while you are also busy engaging the people on your personal page and getting their buy-in. Does that make sense to everybody? It's a lot of work. And Jen understands you do a lot of social media, so you can appreciate needing to have a lot of time for that. So if you need the prompting, I don't need the prompting. I am social media all day, every day. I do not need to be reminded to make a post. If that's not your jam, then you need to remember to remind yourself to do the post. So I'm going to go ahead and put in there and say social media post. Now, if daily is too much for you, it needs to at least be 3 days a week. It cannot be once a week. That is not enough. Okay. And the less you post, the less it's going to serve your posts to people. Nope, that's not what I clicked. Thank you. Every weekday, social media post. Okay. That helps take care of that. And some people go so far as to even plan what type of social media post. Ruthie Schultz, who's out of our Ephrata office and is currently in the program, has decided that she has theme days. So Monday is like Motivation Monday, something Tuesday, I forget, Wacky Wednesday, there's like a Feature Friday, Thoughtful Thursday. And so she's going to build her posts around these themes so she has every day covered. You don't have to get that crazy, but just make sure that there is a balance of content and that we are not just posting social media articles. Okay. In fact, I am really like pretty much against just plain old articles being on the page. Okay. Only if they're engaging. Moving on, those annual real estate reviews. Remember that. Okay. So here again, just like it showed you on your example version, we're going to come in here and every Monday, it's going to be important for us to schedule those annual reviews with the client. Now you will already have, like if you have previous home purchasers or these people who sold earlier this year and you missed out on it, you're already going to have those and know when they're coming up, what month they're coming up in, but you're doing this for like a segment of your sphere of influence. So you're going to offer it up to them. So it is important that you get those scheduled. I'm going to work on that on Monday. And then I'm going to try to hit, we'll do a 2 p.m. review with Jen. Oh, no, that's Ken, whatever. And then I can't type, whoever. And then let's say at 11 a.m. on this day, I have a review with Gabby. Okay, so I got those scheduled. I have lunch with people. I have annual real estate reviews with people. I am working within my network so that I'm providing a service to them. Okay. Now, we also have the monthly items of value that we have to be thinking about too. Get those scheduled and figure out what you want to do. If the cards for St. Patrick's Day are going to be important to you and any kind of card is going out on a monthly basis, then you have to decide what that's going to be. So here, let's say I want to send out Valentine's Day cards. I'm probably going to do that maybe the Wednesday before. Okay, and that might go into my activity time for that particular day. I might need to spread that out over a couple of days. So maybe I need the 9th and the 10th to work on that project, depending on how many people I plan to send them to. Okay. If I'm sending out the sports calendars, get that on the calendar. Anytime that there's an opportunity for that, or you can just kind of leave it open and say, maybe towards I'm going to say the end of the second week of the month would probably be a safe bet. Usually by then they have the home sale item of value published for you guys to use. So I can maybe say Friday, that will be Friday's activity, is to prepare monthly item of value, whatever that is. You guys have that schedule in your binder that you decided for yourselves of what kinds of things you would like to send out. So it's either going to be the home sale item of value, which is that flyer that we talked about, or it's going to be maybe pop buys, or it's going to be something like sports calendars, whatever it is that you're choosing to do for the St. Patrick's Day cards. Okay. Pop buys themselves also should probably be scheduled. Now, this is going to be a personality check for you guys. I am totally okay with choosing a pop buy day and getting it done. I'll walk into Dollar Tree, be like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And I can put them all together. And then I just need to schedule when I'm going to deliver them. For other personality types, you need like time to research and develop, like the R&D time. And then you need the time to go shopping. And then you need the time to put it all together. And then you need the time to go deliver. It doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means that you have to schedule yourself to do that, or it's not going to get done because then it's going to feel too overwhelming to you. Okay. So let's say that maybe on the 21st, I decide this is my R&D for pop buy. Okay. And then let's say on the 24th, which is a Thursday, I'm doing my pop buy creation. And we'll say maybe it's Saturday the 26th is pop by delivery. And maybe Friday too. Okay. So you can see my day is getting very, very full of activities. And you might be thinking to yourself, how on earth am I going to get any actual work done? Because now I have all this stuff that I have to get busy on and be working on as I'm going through my day. And now I'm getting a little bit concerned that I don't actually have time to get anything accomplished in my business versus on my business. Okay. What's some other things that we can stick onto the calendar that potentially need to be done? Any thoughts? Yes, ma'am.
Open houses.
There you go. We definitely need to do some open houses, and how many of them you want to do depends on your personality type. Melissa loves open houses. She'd be happy to do them every single Sunday if it was available to her. I don't love them
except during football season.
Yes, there you go. I don't love them as much. I definitely like doing them. I just don't want to spend every single Sunday because I'm social and I would prefer to not be doing that all the time. So I would probably do like 2 Sundays out of the month. She might be willing to do 4. All right, so you decide, and that's typically going to be, you want to reserve yourself like 12 to 4 usually to do that. Okay, just block that whole time frame out. The event itself is likely going to be 1 to 3, but you need to like put the signs and get there early and get ready and potentially end up staying after a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do an open house on 2 of these days. Okay, or you can plan for all 4. You can also do open houses on Saturdays, guys, just so you know. There's nothing that says it absolutely must be a Sunday. So you could do Saturday and Sunday, or switch it up. Sunday this day, open house here, Saturday. Okay. Anything else we might be missing, or are we good?
And if you're going to do those open houses, you need to have some time to prep for them.
Yep. And so typically for open houses on a Sunday, we would be going either like Wednesday before or Thursday before to put the sign in the yard, to do our promo teaser video that we're going to put on our social. So I might choose to stick that on the Thursday preceding. Okay. And it can be just in my day as something that needs to get accomplished just like that, so I can fit it in wherever I have a free moment, or I can choose to go ahead and assign a time to it if I already know, but it's clearly not going to be between 1 and 3:30. Okay, so I'll probably be doing it sometime in the morning or immediately following my advanced accelerated class. Okay. And so I would.
Jen
go ahead.
asked a really good question. Don't you need a listing to do an open house?
That is a great question. You do not need a listing to do an open house because you are able to do open houses for other listing agents. And so when you guys take the open house course on Monday, we'll teach you like how to do an open house and how that should look. And we actually give you an email that you can use to send out to your office to ask for one. I'm kind of the preference of you just go and start talking to other agents and looking to see, do you have a listing coming up soon? Do you need somebody to sit an open house for you? I'm happy to do that. And then you become the host and you get those leads. Yeah, so as a new to business agent, you should be hunting for open houses for other people to do them. Okay, great question. Anything else that we might be missing from working in our business? I think I got it all.
Got a lot.
Okay, I did get a lot. So then I want to look at this more from like a weekly perspective. Let's see if it'll let me look at the week if I'm in the right day. Yes, good. Okay. Look at that. I'm busy. Now look, I accidentally double booked because I wasn't using my week view. So I'm just going to move Bill's lunch to this day instead. Okay.
What?
Sorry, Bill. You got bumped. But that's another thing that I love about the Google Calendar, and what I'm going to demonstrate to you here in a second is that just because things can't really be 100% all the time, you have to be flexible. All right. So if you're going to be using a paper calendar like Melissa does, write it in pencil. Things change in real estate a lot. Right. So we don't ink anything. You just never know when something is going to have to get moved or shifted. But the point is that you move or shift it. You don't just say, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting that activity done today. It still needs to get accomplished. So what I like about doing everything, including bus pickup, including date night with the spouse, whatever it is that it allows me to see my week and my day and see the holes left in it. You understand what I mean by that? So that if Bill calls me and says, hey, I want to go see a house tomorrow, I'm not inclined to be like, okay, great. What time do you want to do it? And then inevitably, Murphy's Law is he's going to say, how about 3:30? Right when I have to go pick up my kids. I swear to God, it will happen to you every single time. You just leave it open like that and they will nail it on the time you cannot go. And then there's going to be all this like internal turmoil about like, oh my God, this could be the one. They're going to sell this house and now I have to ditch my kids so I can go do this showing. It's a nightmare. Don't do this to yourself. Okay, please don't do this to yourself. You have an appointment that day. So then, let's say it's Monday or Sunday and Bill's like, Steph, I want to go see a house and I want to see it on Tuesday. And he's like, and I'm available in the afternoon. So I'm not going to be like, okay, great, Bill, what time do you want to go? Because that's leaving the door open for me to be like, sorry, I can't do that. And that's not a great way to run a business, right? So I can say, okay, great. Well, I have 1 o'clock that I can show you a house, or I have 4:30. Okay, that's it. And he's like, oh, well, I can't do either one of those things. Then I might be able to say something along the lines of, let me see if I can move things around and shift it and accommodate you. But if you can't, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You find somebody else to help you out. This is why we make friends with each other in these Accelerate classes and stuff. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Okay. And inevitably, it will not be the one that he wants. Okay. You're going to feel like it is, and you're going to drop everything and run and show him the house. And then he's going to be like, yeah, it's too close to the road. Okay. That's how it goes. Right. So, and if it's more open, then I can say, you know, I have time available Wednesday from this time to this time. Now, if he insists that it has to be like during the time I have my daily morning routine set up, that's okay. Then I'm just going to move my daily routine somewhere else. Just that event, so that I can take Bill on a showing. Okay. Other things that could happen. Let's say that I have a listing appointment. Sometimes that happens kind of late in the evening at 6 o'clock on a Friday night. In fact, I was supposed to have one today. We have shifted it to next Friday because of the snow. Okay, so let's say 6 o'clock, I have a listing appointment. That's my goal. That's the appointment. That means that I need prep time for that appointment. Y'all with me? When am I going to do the CMA? When am I going to prepare all of the listing paperwork ahead of time? So I have a whole bunch of time Monday. Maybe I do it here, right? So I'm going to say from like, I don't know, we'll do 12 to 1:30. Prep for Cherry listing. Okay, then it's done. Then I'm not scrambling here on Friday like, oh my God, I haven't done the CMA yet, like, which is the downfall of a lot of agents, is procrastination and waiting until the last minute. And then right before the listing, they're like, oh my God, I got to put all my stuff together. Nope, I'm done. I'm finished with that. Friday, I can just do a quick review and change things up, tweak it, and I'm good, right? So you can do that. I could even do it right after Bill's showing, but you know, what if Bill wants to write a contract? Then I'm sticking him in right there, okay? So it just makes it easier for you to be able to see where you have the time availability and how you can move and shift things around to accommodate those things that kind of pop up. And there is a whole lot of pop up in real estate. So we say, do this loosely, be flexible, obviously, but don't abandon the activities. The other thing I want to remind you of too is that these daily activities to work on your business, without fail, guys, will be the first thing you abandon when you start working with a client. Okay, you get that first client and you're going to be working with them and you're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I have to do showings and they're asking me questions. And you just like put all that mental energy because you're like, this is going to happen. And I have to like put all my energy into this person. And then they may not be giving you the same level of energy, or maybe they can't get pre-approved, or their credit isn't quite right, or they're just like looky-loos and they're never really that serious and they're just running you all around. There's a whole host of reasons why you never put all your eggs into that one basket. You got to be working on your business. But I see it over and over again where agents get that first couple clients and they're like, I don't have time anymore, and all these activities disappear.
Or they get that first deal, and so now they're focusing on getting from, they found those buyers a home, and now they're working on, okay, inspections and appraisals and working through from the contract to settlement. And they're so focused on that. And then settlement day comes and everybody's happy and they post the pictures. And then it's like, then what?
Yep.
They have nothing else going on.
Okay. So you can see, you can have all of these different appointments in here and still be able to tell where you have room to fit more activities. And if you have things on your activity list that you can't get to in the amount of time and the rest of your day is like just jam-packed, then you just move it into the next days of activities. You just don't abandon the stuff, okay? Or you won't have any business, because then after that first deal closes, you're going to be like, great, who's next? And it's going to be like chirp, 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 chirp. Nothing going on. You're like, where did everybody go? And that becomes a very like cyclical sort of business. Nobody likes that. And there are so many agents who live and breathe their business like that, where it's just like really, really busy. I'm doing all the work and then nothing. And then there's nobody. And I have to start all over again and inch my way back. And then your commission looks like that too. Get lots of money, nothing for months. Get lots of money, nothing for months, right? And you don't want to live like that. So we're really trying hard to teach you how to like have that nice little river flow. Okay, Great. So that kind of is the prospecting in action class. I want to make sure that you guys start immediately working on that. I'm going to switch back to the month view quickly just to kind of have that conversation. These live conversations need to happen right now. Oh, and the one thing I want to include for you guys today, this is all presuming you're kind of moving forward, but let's just go ahead and say your daily thing for right now is you must get through all of your Facebook friends. You must. You guys have 100 announcement cards in your tote binder that you can start giving out to like your friends and family and that kind of thing to announce to them. What I would love to see you do is 20 social media messages daily introducing. Okay. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. Just wanted to let you know I'm in real estate now. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you know anybody else who might be needing my services, whatever. That's that first one. You got to do that every single day, as many as you can until you get through all 1,000, 1,400, 1,600 people. Okay. And then then they go back into the fold now of like, how many am I going to contact this week? How many the next week? Just so I can keep going through them to make sure you touch everybody once per quarter. Does that make sense? You got to get through everybody once per quarter. So if you have 1,600 friends plus your friends and family, tally them all up, divide it by 3, put them in those groups. This group is who I'm talking to all throughout February. This group is who I'm talking to all throughout March, and so on, and then back through again. Does that make sense? Got to stay on top of them. So I'm going to hit repeat on that every weekday. Okay. Look at that. Now you have a full calendar of real estate activities. So there should never be a day that you're like, I don't have anything to do. Yes, you do. So many things to do. It's just a question of, are they things you're going to do? Now, this is all the stuff that we talked about today for being like networker, marketer kind of things. Your daily routine schedule might look a little bit different after the part 2 session, where it might be full of like postcards and mailers and like those kinds of things instead. So we're going to be revisiting this calendar as part of that class to continue to add those specific activities into it as well. So I'm going to leave it here like this. So when we come back to it in a couple of weeks, it'll be ready. Okay. Any questions about scheduling? Any other thoughts on that? You guys have been so engaged today, and I really appreciate that. Does that help you guys to see it and bring it all together? Yeah. Okay. You have a lot of homework tonight. I'm glad that this class fell on a Friday. You have a whole lot of time this weekend to get caught up and start doing all of these. These are the systems that are going to build your business. Without it, you're going to have a really haphazard job, not a career. Okay. It'll be like a job. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging in with me. This is a shorter class, which is good because the morning was super intense and heavy. David, I appreciate you circling back through and taking this again. I hope you're getting a whole lot more out of it the second time than you did the first. For many of you guys, you may want to consider taking these classes multiple times because you'll pick up on something new every single time and it'll start to click and make more sense. We always appreciate faces coming back through again.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Okay, guys, have a wonderful weekend. We will see you bright and early on Monday.
On Monday.
Beautiful. See y'all then. Thanks,
Have a
David.
great weekend.